Oh, yeah, we're back.
It's time.
It's back. Hey, David,
We got a long intro.
we're coming to
But
your
it's-
city.
That's
Oh,
it
yeah.
right there. You know what time it is.
Football time.
We got college football, and we are in Birmingham, Alabama. For y'all that don't know, that's a big deal. That's a really
Absolutely.
big deal.
Big deal?
Yeah,
Huge.
it's huge. Alabama, Auburn, that's all that goes on.
I mean, everybody's going to church on Saturday and Sunday.
That's right.
They go to church on Saturday to their favorite school.
They go Saturday morning praying to God for a win.
Absolutely. R. Kelly in the house.
We got Nick Saban, Gus Malzahn.
Hey, well, yeah, the Gus bus.
Who's our buddy? Stidham, Jared Stidham.
Jarrett Stidham. Hey, he's gonna be throwing some haymakers.
And
Well,
it's-
not haymakers, but bombs down the field this year. I
And
think.
it's not one but Tua. Right?
Ah, Tua.
Oh, you love
Do we
that.
have to keep hearing about
You
Tua?
love that.
I mean,
That's
what are you
what I'm
thinking about
talking
this
about.
guy? I mean, you talk about expectations being built. This reminds me of Jeremy Johnson. You remember the Auburn quarterback?
Oh, my gosh.
Heisman Trophy. Oh, guaranteed he's going to win.
I can't stop hearing about him because, there's some people around us that just absolutely could not stand the hype around Jeremy Johnson.
Yeah.
And then when he showed
I just
up,
sure hope he's, for your sake, well, not your sake, you don't have any players at Georgia Tech.
No, well, yeah. Georgia Tech, we're just going to run the ball. We got Taquan Marshall and a bunch of running backs. We're just going to run it.
Yep. And then we'll go about 8-3, right? 8-4?
7-4. That's
Yes.
our standard. If we play 12 games, we're probably 7-5. But we've been 7-4 for about the last
Tim
10,
Allen, how
10
are you?
years. Man, that's awesome. I'm excited though.
College football's back, and I tell you what. What's really funny here in Birmingham is, have you noticed? I guarantee you, work tomorrow is going to be empty wherever you're working.
Oh yeah, nothing going on there because everybody's gearing up.
Absolutely.
For Saturday tonight, they got a couple games on.
Really?
I didn't look at the schedule. I don't know if anything exciting tonight, but you know what? I did want to bring up our new. We got a Abita umbrella drink. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. This is a passion fruit.
A passionate.
Man.
It's passionate.
I tried it, and it's
Well, passion fruit
it's
sucks.
all right. But what is passion fruit?
It's not a fruit.
So why did you waste, passion fruit, you would think one of the best fruits would get the name passion fruit.
Yeah, passion seems like I love it.
It seems
I
like-
need it.
yeah.
I want it. I sound like a novel, but but passion fruit.
It seems like you'd be getting more than that. But man, we're going to talk about the AP preseason poll. We're going to talk about some football. We have to.
But we're going to get into some real estate here in a
We
little
got
bit.
some real estate. We've got some digitizing the mortgage, what people are looking for, what they want. We're also going to talk about mortgage rates. We're going to talk about the cost of waiting. We're going to talk about the difference in this market versus 10 years ago when we ran into some problems.
Man, that was crazy, wasn't it?
Yeah, some people are getting a little nervous right now.
They were drinking something harder than umbrella drink, I guarantee you.
I'm telling you, but we're going to get to it, man. Listen, the
AP poll came out.
AP preseason SEC.
Absolutely.
Okay? Number one.
Wofford was number one, right?
Wofford was number one. I think it was Central Florida.
Central Florida.
Central
Yeah,
Florida.
they're the
Knights.
national champs.
They're the national champs. Number one, Alabama. Number 3, UGA. Number 9, Auburn.
UGA,
Number
Georgia.
18, Mississippi State. 25, LSU.
Mississippi State.
So that's your SEC in the top 25.
I mean, LSU, talk about a team that no one knows what they're going to be. They got a great quarterback. Who knows what they're going to turn out to have this year?
Is Ogeron still down there?
Oh, Big Eddie.
Big Eddie.
Who can't talk.
We're
Guys, if y'all have
gonna
not
get
gone
it.
and watched some of the YouTube videos,
going to get it done.
yeah, he can't talk, and all you understand is "Go Tigers."
Go Tiger. Go Tiger.
Yes, and it is hilarious.
Clint Thompson will love that.
That's right, and Jenny Williams is here.
Jenny Williams tuning in.
She got a real estate life, huh?
That's right. That's right. So,
That's
we
right.
got some big game. Alabama, Louisville, going to be an interesting.
Hey, what'd you think
affair.
about the Louisville coach?
I can't believe it.
He calls the win. He's saying he can't lose. Essentially, he's not going to lose.
Here's the thing I don't understand. Every year we have trash talking
Against Saban. Hold on. Against Saban.
I just don't understand. Why would you do that? Why would you set yourself up for an even worse, an even harder
It's
landing?
crazy.
Hold
on. Look, I'm an Auburn guy, and I'm sitting there going, against the most successful coach, arguably, in the history of football.
There's a difference between being confident and
Guaranteeing victories.
and being cocky.
Yeah.
Okay? Especially when you're not even ranked Okay, we're playing at a neutral site.
We used to have a good quarterback, but we don't anymore.
They're saying Saban might have the best offense he's ever coached. The best. That's saying a lot for Saban. I heard somebody say this week, Saban doesn't even want to play offense. He just, if he could play defense the whole game.
Yeah, he really doesn't care all this hyperbole.
If he could win just beating you on defense, he'd take that.
He just needs to retire.
But man, I think it's amazing. I don't know why these college kids do it. I don't know why they put stuff on up for the other team to focus on.
Hold on. In this case, it was not the kid. It was the coach.
Yeah,
that guarantees victory.
But one of the kids on the offensive line was talking about their D-line. Alabama's D-line, saying, I think we could dominate them. I don't know if I'd ever.
You know how many teams have tried that?
That's unbelievable.
I mean, that's right.
But man, Auburn and Washington, probably the biggest game of the weekend.
Hold on. We have a call. We have our first call.
Robert Tidwell beat Coastal
Carolina. They were going to beat Coastal
That's
Carolina.
Solid. That's really going out on a limb.
Yeah, I mean, he might as well put the headgear on.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Put the cock, or whatever you want to call it.
Put the gamecock.
Yeah, on your head.
There you go.
Hey, now that is one opening of a game I'm dying to see. I've been to South Carolina, but I think we came in late or something. That, what is it, 20,000 leagues under the sea or whatever they come out to?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, obviously it's so big that I don't see it, but Tidwell could tell us. But, it's supposed to be cool. It's not as cool as the eagle flying around, but,
So what are you guys looking for this weekend? Biggest game? I'm thinking it's Auburn and Washington. Obviously, number 9 versus number 6.
Yeah,
two
big
top
game.
10 teams coming out of the gate. A lot of talk about Auburn and Gus Malzahn getting up to speed. Man, Gus Malzahn's got some confidence now.
He's got talent, and he's got good recruiters, and he just needs to be a head coach and not a play-by-play coach that's playing every down and coaching every down.
I always worry about the geography, right? You got Washington coming from the top corner all the way down to the bottom corner.
Hey, hopefully this humidity.
Atlanta.
Well, no, they're in Atlanta, aren't they?
Playing in the big stadium. They've got the new Mercedes-Benz. Auburn's been there a couple times.
This is our third game. What, 3 out of 4 games?
So I think Washington might be a little bit.
Yeah, actually, hold on. This will be the 3rd game in a row for Auburn in Atlanta since they've been home.
Yep, and I think Auburn's 0-2, so this will be.
You have to bring that up.
The 3rd time's a charm. The 3rd time is a charm.
This guy, Debbie Downer.
Man, I just heard that today.
Yeah.
I heard it today.
Hey, well, see, at least our school doesn't have a soccer field as a football field, right? Because your football field's more famous for their Major League Soccer, right?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. Bobby Dodd Stadium, right?
I don't know why you're picking on us.
Yeah, because y'all are smart, though. I mean, so let's move on. Let's tell us what else we got.
So,
moving on.
So, listen, we're talking about the mortgage process. Fannie Mae National Housing Survey did some stats on what people think about the mortgage process and kind of streamlining it, digitizing it, going with more of a digital process.
Man.
And this is some of this is not news. Okay, we know a lot of this. Borrowers want less paperwork. That's obvious. The hardest part of buying a house is going to be proving your income and proving your assets. Pay stubs, W-2s, tax returns, if we have to get into that, bank statements, all that stuff. People get tired of the questions. Large deposits. Are you on commission? Did you write things off? There are a lot of questions. There is a lot of work that we have to do on our end to verify the ability to repay the mortgage.
What I've found is a lot of folks don't like the fact that you're verifying things.
Some people do get a little upset with that.
It's amazing.
They get upset with us, digging into their stuff. But basically, they said gathering the necessary financial information to apply and get approved for a loan was cited as the most difficult part of the process by far, which that makes sense. Especially true for borrowers over the age of 45. But there was a lot of interesting information in here. They said a lot of borrowers still appreciate human interaction. Like they still want people to do this.
I think we talked about that about bank branches, how they're because there's that group of people that says online banks. Like I'm a big online banker. I mean, right, but at the same time, there's certain times I need it. But there are certain people that need to have that one-on-one, and just like people that love a real book over a Kindle or what have you.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, I think that, some people said they would love the whole process to be digital.
Yo, what's up, Tara? How are you? The pride of Northwest Arkansas is here.
Yes. How much does Nick Staben pay for his ownership of Gus Malzahn's?
Oh, man, this is getting cold, man.
Will Auburn bounce back? I mean, really
he's like,
We got Tracy Griffin. Thank you for tuning in. But look, we just want to say the more than 2/3 would like to be approved online, pre-approved online. That makes sense. We had 65% that still wanted a person there to explain the mortgage terms and options. I think this is one business where there's so many questions and there is a lot of information. You can Google everything that you want to. You can do a lot of research online, but there's still some stuff that we need to help you figure out, right?
Wow, absolutely. I mean, and I think, too, what you're going to find is a lot of these high-tech companies like Quicken Loans, all these guys are going to start online, and guess what's going to happen? You're going to end up having to do some of the traditional stuff.
Man.
And you're not going to have them around to answer the question.
Yeah, and I'm just going to tell you right now, the Quicken Loans of the world are going to shine as a marketing company, mark my words, as a marketing company, not a mortgage company.
Yeah, you walked into my office this week, and what happened? You saw a commercial about Quicken.
Yeah.
What was it?
They were talking about their rate protection. Okay, so they have this program where you can go look for a house, and your rate is let's see, quote unquote locked, right? So they lock your rate before you actually go shop for the house. Well, if you do some research on that, which I did, I put in the information. I said I'm looking to buy in about 2 to 3 months, and the rates that came back to me were the rates had about 2 to 3 points
afloat.
No, 2 to 3 points of fees. So
wow.
like your origination points would be 2%, 2 to 3%. I think the 5-year ARM was up to 3%. So you're paying a lot of fees. And listen, this is a stable rate environment right now. I think really for the next 18 months, rates are going to trickle up maybe north of 5%. But
I sure hope not.
But see, in stable environments, it's safe to make that.
Well, I did see where Trump today, made some comments apparently about trying to. He's going to learn at some point he can't control everything, and the Fed guys do not care what he thinks.
Yeah.
Once they nominate him, they're there. They're on that Fed board, and they didn't. Not that they didn't take kindly, but they just didn't care what he said.
Well, see, I think
he wants to retard the Fed funds rate.
Yeah.
He wants that to stay where it is.
Yeah, and that's a good idea. I think, that's obvious because the economy's turning, right? We ratcheted the Fed funds rate up, and rates started moving with it.
Coordinating shirts, man. You copied me.
Oh yes, doesn't it look good?
Hey, we don't look as good as Tara, but I can't help it, right?
Can't help it.
Tara was a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader at one time. Well, I think. But Tara is a great realtor up in Northwest Arkansas. So if you're ever in Northwest Arkansas, call Tara. Actually, she's the #1 agent in all of Arkansas. But hey, what are we saying? But anyway, and by the way, you forgot to say hi to Brent Gladden, my old business partner, right there from Auburn.
Yes.
Man, if you're down in Auburn, man, that dude is the bomb. He's awesome. Great guy. And also, Amanda, hello. I know you're watching. But anyway, so let's move on. So
as far as rates right now, we're still around 4.5 on a 30-year fixed, 4% on a 15-year fixed. Haven't really moved a whole lot. So, for companies like this to go out on a limb and say, oh, we'll guarantee you things if you pay a lot of fees, they're really not
taking I can do that.
Much chance.
Hey, right. I'll do that.
Oh, yeah, it's easy to do. You can call me, and I'll be happy to match whatever they're doing because it's simple. It's
in other words,
it's a simple game they're playing.
I'm going to have one hand in one pocket of yours, then I'm that's permanent money.
Yeah, just ask questions and get the information.
Absolutely.
But listen, this is the Freddie Mac mortgage survey is saying sales and price growth have softened these last few months. Okay, so this leveling of rates, so rates are leveling off.
What do you mean by softening and leveling off?
The sales and price growth. So price growth of real estate. Okay, so we're not seeing the same type of appreciation that we had early in the year. So what happened early in the year? Rates moved up. Prices were moving up, so that was kind of pricing some buyers out of the market, right? So they were paying more for the house and higher rates. So in turn, their overall payment, their overall cost was higher, a lot higher.
Gotcha.
So now with prices, starting to level off.
It is leveling off, no question.
And with rates leveling off, that'll bring some more buyers back into the market, which will help everything.
Well, we need it to happen, and we talk about it every week. We need more new construction to start so that these resales, it has an inverse thing, and and a lot of that's going to be commercial money that needs to open up.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people have been worried about the market over the last, I'd say maybe 3 to 4 weeks. Things have slowed down a little bit, but look, some people starting to talk about some changes in the economy and maybe a downturn, but the difference between now and maybe 10 years ago was that at that point, 10 years ago, in 2008, we were getting crazy with lending. Okay?
Crazy is an understatement. Yeah, absolutely. Anybody got a loan.
We were extending all kinds of
Drive-by.
loans. And the inventory, see, all businesses go back to supply and demand, right?
Absolutely.
The inventory back in 2008 was 11 months.
Oh, yeah. That's
okay,
right.
so a healthy
complete
market,
buyer's market.
Healthy market was about 6.
6.
Right?
Absolutely.
Now we're at 4 months. Okay, so what I'm saying is when we play the supply and demand game, when these the rates cool off and prices cool off, that's going to bring more buyers in. The supply is still low, which helps the equation. Then the demand goes up. So the housing market is still going to be healthy.
Absolutely, and we are seeing a healthy market, but the problem is, if you're looking to sell, you better be ready to have options. Know what you're going to do, and have an option you don't like. I mean, sorry, but you may have to go get an apartment for 3 months, even though you're 46, you've made it, you're driving a Maserati. Guess what? You're living on love again. You put your stuff in storage. I mean, there's Courtney Harvey. She wouldn't mind living in an apartment again.
She would love that, but I mean, you got to know your options, right? Sellers are going to have more competition in these later months of the year. So if you're looking to sell your house, you're going to have to be more aggressive.
I heard a statement the other day about this time of year. This is when the big dogs come out to play, right? A lot of the big money doesn't want to deal with the summertime crush, and they're not going to be pigeonholed because they don't have to sell. By the way, I hate that term. I don't have to sell. Now, I'm talking to you about selling my house, but I don't have to sell. Then why are we talking?
Yeah.
Right? But anyway, so this time of year, if you got a house that's over for us, over $500,000? I know for some of these guys, it's like, well, that's entry level, especially in Bentonville, Arkansas, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? But when we're talking over $5, this is a good time to put your house back on the market because there is no force other than school for some of those people. But even them, a lot of those people in private school or they're already in the school system. So don't hesitate to put your house in the market right now because those guys can afford to absorb moving expenses, all those things that normally we're banging to get into by the end of the summer.
Yeah, and and if you look across the market at buyers, right? We got first-time home buyers, everybody from first-time home buyers all the way to people downsizing, right? Selling their house, empty nesters, right? And now you've got a lot of people in a lot of volume that's driven by the school schedule, but there's still a lot of reasons why people are still going to buy and sell regardless of what time of year it is. So you got first-time home buyers, you got move-up buyers, you got downsizing. So you got a lot of things going on that's still going to help the demand, still going to help the market, and our supply is still low. So, the housing market overall is going to be strong for the foreseeable future. Another beautiful thing about the next 18 months, let's say that rates go up another half a point. Let's say we push up to 5.5. Yep. I did some numbers just looking at the cost of waiting. Okay, so on a $250,000 loan, another half of a point is going to cost about $75 a month.
So if my mortgage payment's $1,000, it's now $1,075.
Yep, on a $250,000 loan. So that's the cost of waiting. But the beautiful thing about, let's say, on the other side of that, rates move up to 5, 5.5. Then there's room, like Trump is trying to do, is trying to control the Fed. Then there's room to actually bring rates down a little bit. Okay,
yeah.
So if you get to that point and you can bring rates down a little bit, brings buyers in, increases demand, still good positive stuff for the housing market.
I had a guy that watches the Happy Hour that asked me the other day a very good question, and it was about the Fed lowering interest rates. I think there's a lot of misconception about that's the interest rates that you guys are offering, right? Because they go, oh my gosh, they lowered the interest rate. But just to kind of let everybody know that doesn't know that the Fed funds rate is the bank rate at which banks borrow from each other, correct?
Yeah, it's overnight lending rate.
Overnight lending. Because essentially every time you write a check, somebody's borrowing from one bank until the time to fund it happens. And all that.
So it's an extremely short-term rate, right?
Yeah.
But it increases the flow of money when that comes way down. Now, when that moves or when they change it, it kind of trickles through. So it's kind of like...
but it doesn't necessarily affect you guys immediately.
No, but it's kind of like a family, okay? So the Fed funds rate is kind of like a distant third cousin twice removed.
This is getting good.
Right? It's getting good. A distant third cousin twice removed from a 30-year fixed rate. Now, if he does something stupid, does it affect your family? Yeah. So it trickles through. So eventually, as you've seen over the last couple of years, when the Fed funds keeps ratcheting up, then it translated into other bond yields, and then eventually the 30-year fixed has now started to move up. And you can kind of control, the progression of it.
Well, and one thing is, too, I was reading about how, once these banks essentially, because remember, we're really controlled by, 10 banks in the country that are really, you guys are funding your own money, but you're selling a lot of that to these big banks. But the problem is they have to make money. They have to make loans or they're not making money. So, in essence, just because interest rates rise, they had to bring them back down because guess what? Not as many people. They got to keep that equilibrium there.
Yeah, they keep
people being able to get them.
Yeah, and the shock to the system that you saw in the first half of the year when rates jumped up, that's when things really slow down, and that's when they really got to get smart and bring them back down. It needs to be a slow, smooth transition into higher rates.
Thank you, Mr. Arnette. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well.
Thank you, buddy.
But that is right, and that's one thing we're an immediate economy where everybody wants something now. This is something that we want to be slow.
Yeah, you want a slow and steady movement. But again, it's been overdue. It's long overdue.
One thing I wanted to bring up to you: did you see this thing on Aretha Franklin? Man, the woman's worth, what did it say, $85 million, I believe?
Yeah, you were telling me about that.
$85 million. I hear every day. This is, everybody doesn't know I was an attorney in a former life, but Aretha Franklin dies without a will. Think about how many lawyers were involved in her life. Managers, everything else. And did anyone ever bother to go?
The contracts?
Contracts all over the place.
Yeah.
Did anybody bother to go, hey, I think you need to have a will?
You got all this stuff
A basic will. You can write a will on the back of a paper bag, right? As long as
you got a notary?
Yeah, or, you make it what they call it, self-attesting. If Robert Tidwell's here, it tells. Self-proving, I believe. But anyway, what's interesting here, though, is, and why it's so important to our finances for all of us, is that if you don't do that, guess who's deciding where your stuff's going to go?
Yeah, the courts.
The courts, a state employee.
And it's not going to be fun for the family. It's not going to be timely. It's not going to be fair. That opens up a lot of fighting, a lot of hurt feelings. That's the last thing you want. Right?
Absolutely. that's the very last thing you want.
You're creating turmoil.
Well, here's the thing. You work so hard to build what you have, and so you finally decide, I don't care. You all fight it out, right? Yeah. And the problem is your third cousin, twice removed, is going to come in and want something.
Well, a big thing was, big things happening now. It's these podcasts, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so we listened to one that was a town here in Alabama.
Oh, is it negative? We're about to have
it. Was interesting, but it was about Will's a guy, died and didn't leave, and it just creates a mess.
Just get a will. By the way, one thing that's very interesting is that because there's one of the big companies has gotten into basically offering a very cheap will thing. Go to willmaker.com, and there's a couple of Nolo puts it out. I think they're like half price now. So now's a good time. If you're looking to do your own will, go on there. Obviously, this is not sponsored, but...
or you can go with a paper bag, take it down to the bank, get it notarized.
Piggly Wiggly bag. Oh, that'll be 25 cents nowadays.
Yeah.
That's, that.
Yeah, Aldi, don't do it on the back of an Aldi bag because they don't have them.
They don't have them?
Oh, man, I saw Ben Stiles. He posted a picture on Facebook. He went to Aldi. Didn't realize you don't get bags at Aldi unless you bring your own. Oh, he had groceries spread out all over the back of the car.
I tell you,
it was awesome.
what are we gonna do, right?
But he saved some money.
Saving money is awesome.
That's it.
What we got?
That's it, guys. Listen, enjoy
Football.
the football weekend. Man, I can't say enough. It's going to be exciting. I know everybody's waiting for it. Everybody's looking forward to it. You said
I don't think we realize
going to
it
be
yet.
terrible.
Oh, productivity is out the window. You know, here in Alabama, it's just awful.
I mean, the Saban sound bites, the build up to the Louisville game.
But one person that I know is gonna really, really be still involved in her work tomorrow. One of our viewers right there, Courtney Harvey.
Oh yeah, she could care less until it's time for kickoff. But I'm telling you that the one thing that she will not miss,
her Peloton,
is that Auburn football.
Oh no! She's a smart lady.
That's right. That's important
in many ways.
That's important.
All right.
Well, guys, we appreciate you tuning in this week, and we will be back next Thursday.
4 o'clock. Hey.
4 p.m.
Tidwell, we'll have to bring you on one week. It'll be fun to have you. And we'll see you next